Hey there, Banger fans! Sam Astroth coming at you from my evil lair to bring you another one here on Overkill Reviews. I just put out my 9-track mixtape, Demon Time, today, so if you want a mixed dose of aggressive funk, trap metal, and black and deathcore, then check it out. This week, I'm reviewing the 9th full-length album from the symphonic blackened deathcore masterminds, CARNIFEX. That was a blast beat driven, heavy yet melodic title track off of the new album from CARNIFEX titled Necromanteum, out today, October 6th, via Nuclear Blast Records. CARNIFEX originated back in 2005 from San Diego, California, and have released 9 full-length albums along with 3 EPs to date. The band currently consists of founding members, lead vocalist Scott Ian Lewis, and drummer Sean Cameron, along with rhythm guitarist Corey Arford, bassist Fred Calderon, and lead guitarist Neil Tiemann. They took a short hiatus back in 2012 and reformed within 1 year again in 2013, and have been going strong for the last 10 years. These guys are one of the veterans of deathcore, as they put out the second most number of albums within the genre, only to be bested by Akaki Strain, but who's counting albums here? So after dropping 8 full-length albums and 18 years in the game, how does the new CARNIFEX album measure up to their old previous efforts and other bands in the genre? Let's find out. Alright, as soon as I press play on the album, I noticed how intricately the album's orchestration has been paid attention to. Now, if you have noticed, within recent years, orchestration has been more and more popular within deathcore bands, and some of them have released exceptional albums. Some of my favorites being bands like Brand of Sacrifice and Lorna Shore. Now, while those bands stand out for their own unique vibe of orchestration styles, Brand of Sacrifice using anime and video game inspired boss battle style sounds, and Lorna Shore using epic, melodic, and melancholic orchestration melodies. CARNIFEX's orchestration sounds way more ferocious and evil. At times, it's brutal and gives off kind of like a Flesh God Apocalypse vibes, and at times it's theatrical and eerie and has Karak Angren vibes. Combined with their riffing, drumming, strong vocals, this creates for a recipe for a great songwriting. Coming off of talking about great songwriting, like Skeletor likes to say, I don't like to feel good, I like to feel evil. Well, you are definitely going to get plenty of dosages of evil within this album. That was the second song off the album, Death's Forgotten Children, with the only feature of the album being none other than Chelsea Grin's Tom Barber. These two deathcore beasts come together to create an absolute monster of a track between growls and screams and brutal breakdowns. The album, in my opinion, favors a really nice blend of black and death metal, heavy as fuck deathcore breakdowns, which are complemented by matching orchestrations. I have to mention how well all 3 elements come together. I really feel like CARNIFEX didn't do anything unnecessary in this album. They just focused on writing good fucking songs. Being a reviewer, I gotta point out that the album starts off super strong with songs like Torn in Two and Death's Forgotten Children to Necromanteum. Then the rest of the songs don't hit consistently as hard as the first 3 do. Songs like The Pathless Forest and How Knife Gets Twisted have really cool moments that stand out, but then the last 4 songs don't really have too many memorable parts. So I wish the later half of the album had a little more weight. I must have named this 4th point that because lately all I can think about is hitting the gym, so much so that I started writing songs that make me want to go to the gym. All jokes aside, the album has solid as fuck riffing throughout. Whether they're playing sinister black metal chords or blast beat driven tremolo riffs, marching worthy groovy parts, epic shredding during solos, or mean ass chugging during breakdowns, the riffs on this will make you headbang. The riffs even know how to take a backseat from time to time to let the orchestration shine through, accompanied by Scott's vocals as he often plays onto the riffs of the songs, matching rhythms to further accentuate the taste of the overall album. Breakdowns for days! How can you have a review of a deathcore album without talking about the breakdowns? YouTubers like Hardcore Kim live for brutal breakdowns, and this album certainly doesn't disappoint in this department. What is cool though is that the breakdowns are not as obvious and cookie cutter. They're actually carefully snuck in and hit at just the right time to blend in with the rest of the songs. This to me is very clever. As I mentioned earlier, songs like The Pathless Forest and possibly my favorite of the album, How the Knife Gets Twisted. As you just heard, the album has amazing breakdowns that are placed right before or after beautiful solos, or before and after a catchy chorus, or at times in the middle of a transition, and just are done very tastefully. What I'm trying to say is that they are not predictable, which is a very, very good thing. Dreaded verdict! New CARNIFEX album certainly does not disappoint. Scott's strong vocals throughout shine during all parts of the songs. The riffs are tasty, the solos are beautiful, the drumming is tight, and the orchestration hits just right. Therefore, I'm giving this album a solid 4 out of 5 here on Overkill Reviews. Time for the shoutouts. First up, I got the ever-experimental Code Orange with their newest album titled The Above, which came out on September 29th via Blue Grape Records. I don't know how many sounds this band has experimented with, everything from metalcore to hardcore to punk to industrial metal to alternative metal to rock to post-hardcore to new metal to sludge metal to noise to grunge. You never know what you're going to get from these guys. Next up, I got the innovative industrial metal band Three Teeth with their latest album, EndEx, which came out on September 22nd via Century Media Records. I first found out about these guys when they toured with him, and they've been impressive ever since. The 12 songs on this album showcase their fantastic songwriting capabilities, with some songs being co-written by the legendary Mick Gordon, and a killer cover of Tears for Fears, and a collab song, Paralyze, with one of my current favorite bands, Horror. If you like your industrial metal with a mixture of classic and modern vibes, then you'll definitely enjoy Three Teeth. Last but not least, I got the brutal death metal masters, Dying Fetus, with their latest album, Make Them Beg for Death, which came out on September 8th via Relapse Records. John Gallagher and Sean Beasley combined forces with their brutal duo vocals alongside super catchy yet ultra brutal and insanely heavy riffing, and then Trey Williams' machine-like drumming. It's just a recipe for disaster. Well, in the case of metal, disaster in the best way as possible. Like, death metal isn't supposed to be this catchy, but Dying Fetus somehow pull it off every time. That's it for this time. Sam Astrout signing off. Feels my eyes, your secrets never told me, made it frozen.